Hi, my name is Mark Benke, and I'm the creator of a game called Quinate. Quinate is a word that means to arrange in groups of 5, and that's kind of what this game is. It's a Rummy style game where we go ahead and we try to get the 5 cards that are the same color or different color, or the same number or different number, or 5 cards of the same shape or 5 cards of different shapes. Let's go ahead and get set up. For this game, every player gets 6 cards, and I'm going to go ahead and deal hands for 5 players. I'll do that real quick. After the 5 cards have been dealt out, players can go ahead and take them and they can look at their cards. With the remaining cards, I put them in the center of the table, and I'll go ahead and divide them up into 5 separate piles. And you can kind of distribute them to make them a little more even, but it does, as long as you got 5 piles out there. These are called the draw piles. We're ready to get started. Everyone takes a look at their hand, and looking at the cards in your hand, you take and discard one of them. So I'll take one and discard here. I'll go ahead and discard them for all the other players too. Now let's pretend they've gone ahead and looked at their cards and they've chosen one card to discard. So we should all be left with 5 cards in our hand. Now we're ready to start the round. What you do is, on your turn, you get the choice of taking any card from one of the draw piles or any one of the discard piles, and then see if you can make something in a group of 5. So I'll take a look at my cards right now. I'll show them to you. Normally we don't share them, but as I look at my cards, it looks like I have a pretty good hand here. Looks like I've got all 1s except for one of them. So if I had a number 1, I could have a group of the same number. So as I look around at all the discard piles, I see that, hey, here's a number 1. I could go ahead and take this card, add it to my hand, and I now have a group of 5 of the same number. I'll go ahead and lay them down, and I'll discard this onto my discard pile. With this game, I call it continuous play because rather than gather up all the cards and reshuffle them, you just go ahead and take 5 new cards. And I can take them from any one of the draw piles, but not the discard pile. So I'll go ahead and do that. And you can take them all from the same pile. You can take them from different piles as long as you wind up with 5 cards. And that's the end of your turn. I'll go ahead and pretend I'm this player over here, player number 2. As I look at player number 2's cards, I'll do the same thing. I'll look to see if there's anything on board that I'll be able to match. And as I look right now, I've got a few cards in here that are kind of interesting, but I don't see one offhand that's going to give me what I need. So I'm going to go ahead and take one from a draw pile. Go ahead and add that to my hand. And now I need to discard. Unless I had a group of 5, which I don't see, we're pretty close. I got a couple of 4s, a couple of 5s, so I'm going to go ahead and discard one. And I'll put that one down into their discard pile. We'll set that one over. And play continues that way. On your turn, you take a card. If you get a group, lay it down. If not, go ahead and discard and it goes on to the next player. If you do get a group, go ahead and lay it down and then take 5 additional cards. Remember, you can only take from the draw piles. When you get toward the end of the round, though, you might run out of cards in the draw piles. In that case, then you can go ahead and take from the discard piles. And you keep playing until one person gets 5 different groups. So as I've laid down here, I've laid down 5 of the same number. I can't use that group again, I've already used it. I could put down 5 different numbers, but I can't use 5 of the same numbers. After one player lays down 5, every other player gets one more turn. And at the end of that, you go ahead and count them all up, get your scores. For every one group that you have laid down, you get 5 points. And for being the first person to lay down your 5 cards, or your 5 different groups, you get a bonus of 5 points. That's it. You gather up all the cards, shuffle them up, and you deal them out again, and you're all set. Player with the highest score at the end of the 3 rounds wins. Now there are a couple special groups that you might come across. I've set some up over here on the side. I don't know if you can see really well, but this particular group is pretty interesting because they're all the same number. That's one group. But if you look really close, they're all different colors. So this is what's called a double group. It's worth 2 groups, and in this case, it's worth 10 points. It could be categorized as a group of the same number and also a group of different colors. So that's a double group. Here's another one I have. This one's really hard to get. This is a triple group. It is a group of all the same color, blue, of all the same shape, they're all circles, and a group of all different numbers. It's a triple group, and it's worth three groups or 15 points. And that's pretty much it. That's how you play Quinate. I tried to set this game up to alleviate some of the frustrations I have with some of the other Rummy games. For example, if you've ever played a game and you see somebody across the table discard one and you think, boy, I could really use that card. The player next to them doesn't take that card and it gets buried and you can't get to use it again. Not that you'll get it here, but you have a better opportunity because of the multiple discard piles. In fact, it's easier to play when you have more players. Another thing, or frustration I have, is maybe you're looking for just one card, and when you have a big stack of cards, the cards you need might be all the way on the bottom. You're never going to get to it, or it's going to take a long time. Here with 5 draw piles, again, not saying you're going to get your card, but you have a better opportunity for that card to surface. Now, for any of the cards, there are 25 of each. There's 25 blue cards, 25 green cards. There's 25 circles. There's 25 triangles. There's 25 ones, and there's 25 fives. So there's 125 cards in total. So there's a good chance your card is out there someplace or some fashion. So that's it. I hope you have a good time, and look forward to seeing some other games here from my home.